Peace, high frequencies, everybody. I'm gonna tap into the dream and share parts of it with you. There is a disclaimer though. If you have a weak stomach, um, and you're easily frightened or something, then don't listen to this. Just to let you know, last night wasn't all happy and sunshine, fluffy rabbits. So, um, yeah, it was, it's kind of like movies. You know how movies, you have comedies, you have romance, you have sci-fi, you have autobiographies, you have fiction. It's so many different dynamics to movies, and that's kind of like the dream state. Going into your subconscious mind and seeing what's going to be revealed, or information in the ethers that's going to be downloaded and given to you. You just never know what you're going to get. That's why it's so interesting when you go to sleep. It's so much fun for me. So, excuse me. So it started off, and okay, 'cause I have to get the words for the visuals. It started off with this lady. There was this black woman that lived in this town. And this was kind of like I was having a third eye view, but it felt like this may have been someone in my bloodline. I'm not sure. But she lived in this town, and it felt like, now this part of the dream, it did feel like this was set in the past. Maybe 1800s, early 1900s or something. Really feeling like, yeah, 1800s possibly. And so she was living in this town, black woman living in this town, among a lot of whites. And she had a relationship with this white man, but it was a secret relationship, but his family knew. Now, and his family didn't like it. He knew his family didn't like it. And what he was doing, he wasn't really telling his family the truth. He was telling his family one thing and he was telling her another. And so, some type of way he was murdered. I'm not quite sure in the dream like how he got killed, how he was murdered, but he was murdered. And she was trying to tell his family and everybody that he had given her a ring. They were going to get married. He loved her, and she was just sharing with everybody all the things that he had said. Now, before he had got killed, he had shared with some people, his feelings, but he kind of really downplayed it because he didn't want to bring too much attention to issues, of course, during that time of the racial mindset, and the energy was extremely like racist. So his family was out for her. It was like his family was out for her too, because she didn't have a problem with sharing. And I don't know if the man, that white guy that got murdered, if he was some type of dignitary or politician or something. It felt like he held some type of place in society, which was why he was trying to keep everything kind of low key. But once he got murdered, she was telling everybody, about their relationship. Okay, and so the dream flips. I move astral travel somewhere else into this house. Now, in this house, there were some type of entities or energy. It was me, someone else, and like a dog. And we were having to hide underground. And we were having to put over There's white sheets. We had to cover ourselves with these white sheets because if we covered ourselves with white sheets, it made us invisible to the entities. It was some type of magic. I'm not sure. But the dog, I had a dog with me, and it just kept barking. It was just really loud, and then it didn't want to stay under the sheet, so it kept moving the sheet and stuff. I'm like, they're gonna end up seeing us. You're loud. You gotta be quiet. We're trying to stay covered up so they don't see us. So anyway, okay, it goes from just me, the dog, and someone else to end up being possible about 3 of us minus the dog. I'm not quite sure, but they end up being like these zombies. So we come out from, this is where it just gets real crazy and interesting. So we come out from underneath the sheets. They find us, and they're like these zombies, and they're out killing. And so they had like these butcher knives, like these really huge butcher knives. And they were either trying to kill you or you had to kill them first. Now, the way that you kill them, like, I watched someone from my group do it first. Like, if they get to you, then you're gone onto their side. But if you take the butcher knife from head all the way down to center, you have to take the butcher knife and slice them in the middle. And then I'm talking about deep slices in the middle where, blood is all coming out. And then you take the butcher knife and you hit them in the head with the butcher knife where it sticks and it stays deep in the head and it's like kills them. So I watched one of the persons that were with me, one of the guys that were with me do it, right? And then I watched somebody else like fight them, and then I watched them do it to somebody else. It ended up being like some type of battle. And then it came to be like my turn where I had to do it. So I had to slice them, and I didn't go real deep to slice them. And then when I threw the butcher knife, it was like I missed. But there was a person that was with me. It was like a person, he was like a backup person. He was like, did you get him? I was like, no. And I was like, I was still fighting. So he had got the butcher knife, and then he sliced him and did it. And while he was doing it and fighting for me, another guy came, and he had like something, it was, I don't know if it was like a cross or what, it felt like it was like a cross wrapped around with leather, and something else was in his hand, and he brought that around the corner to where we were fighting, and it was like these zombie beings that we were fighting. That was what was pulling them off of us, or it kind of like what you see in the movies when you show the cross of the vampires. Like, that's what was going on. Like, they couldn't take that energy, like that if they repelled, they could not stand it. So it's really crazy. In the dream, it wasn't like I woke up and I was frightened. I don't feel like I had a nightmare or anything. I wasn't scared. I didn't wake up. Because you know how sometimes, you have a nightmare, you have something, and you wake up like, oh my God, like that bothers me. Like, I didn't wake up bothered. I didn't wake up like it was a nightmare. It just felt like another dream. I wasn't scared at all. Even during the dream, I wasn't scared. It was just kind of like, I got to learn what to do so I can kill these people. So yeah, that was the dream state last night. Like I said, it's not always gumdrops and rainbows. We had that yesterday. Last night, it was more gory and bloody guts. And some racism, which was, of course, we're not new to that. But yeah, the first part was her and the couple that couldn't tell, but it was like after he had got murdered, it was like his family was out to murder her. And then, of course, the dream flipped to, me hiding myself with this other person and this dog over this sheet to be invisible. But the dog, of course, was loud. And so we had to kill these energies and entities. So yeah, that was the dream last night. If you decipher dreams, if you're a dream walker, if you want to discuss this dream further, then just reach out to me. So like, subscribe, and share your dreams. This is my dream journal. And I hope it brings insight or clarity whenever anybody watches this. And I also rewatch these videos myself as my dream journal to help me get for insight into my movement in all realities. So peace and high frequencies.